Hello and welcome inside the CitrusTV studios for a special web edition of Cuse Countdown alongside Tyler Aki and Matt Liberman. I'm Marco Socci. Syracuse hits the road once again, this time to take on NC State. Syracuse still in search of that elusive first road win.
Yeah, I mean, you really think that they would have gotten it at this point in the season for a team that was predicted to be this good. It's really sad that they haven't won on the road, and those stats completely different when you look at the home and away stats.
Oh, absolutely. Polar opposite, and starts on the defensive end. That's one place where Syracuse definitely needs to shore up if it's going to be an NC State team that averages around 80 points per game.
Yeah, you talk about that points per game average, Tyler. Let's take a look at how these teams stack up statistically. Syracuse and NC State. Take a look at it. Syracuse at 76 points per game. Tyler, just like you mentioned, NC State over 80. The field goal percentages advantage NC State, but they're pretty close. 3-point percentage, though, advantage Syracuse, even though Syracuse hasn't been as great lately shooting from beyond the arc. The big thing that sticks out, though, between these two teams, NC State does not play a lot of defense. 77.7 points per game. Not a good look for NC State. Now, the one thing that the Wolfpack does have, they have an absolute stud. It seems that every player in the ACC has at least one guy that gets it done night in and night out. For NC State, that's Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr., absolute stud. He could win the Naismith Award this season. He just does everything on the floor. He leads the ACC in assists. He leads the ACC in steals. He's 5th in points per game. He does everything. Against Duke, he was a one-man show, 30 points, 31 points against Georgia Tech. He just does everything. He is the one-man show for this NC State team.
I'm going to throw you an NBA comparison right here. Derrick Rose, you look at how he plays the game. He's very good around the rim. He's got a killer crossover, and he's got that speed to get to the basket. That's a guy I like in Dennis Smith, too. And, hey, if he can show that and maybe even a little more, who knows, he might be the #1 pick in June.
Yeah, and don't forget about the size as well. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. And he really has some muscle on him.
Yeah, hopefully he stays a little healthier than Derrick Rose has over his career. Now, time to get to the game. What are the keys to this game, Tyler? We're going to start with you.
Well, for me, I think that what Syracuse has to do, over the past 6 games, they've shot under their season average from three-point land in 5 of those games. And that's something that North Carolina State, they allow teams to shoot the ball from 3. They're allowing opponents to shoot around 40%. That's the 2nd worst in the ACC. Syracuse needs to exploit that if it wants to come out with a win, and I think they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly have to go on the defensive side and look at the top of the 2-3 zone. I mean, NC State turns the ball over in ACC play more than any other team in the conference. SU has more steals than any other team in the conference and forces more turnovers overall. The game is going to come down to Syracuse on its defense. If John Gillen, Andrew White, Tyus Battle, if they can step up at the top of the zone, I can definitely see this going SU's way. It's just a matter of if they can do that, because if they can't force turnovers, Dennis Smith is going to have a field day with them. It's all about the fact that SU needs to get them off balance and needs to generate offense for themselves, and that all starts with controlling the ball.
So defense and three-point shooting, the two things to look out for. Guys, how about the predictions in this one?
For me, I have to go 80-73 Syracuse. Look, I understand that they haven't picked up a win on the road this season, but this is an NC State team, like I said, that turns the ball over a lot, and Syracuse does especially well against those sorts of teams. I recognize everything that Dennis Smith Jr. can do, but if they're turning the ball over and if he isn't able to dominate the ball like he normally does, I don't see NC State coming away with a victory in this one. I think SU finally gets that road win that has been so elusive for them this entire season.
I'm going to one-up you in the points department for SU. I'm going to give them 81-73.
Wow, that's close.
So, hey, great minds thinking alike, or semi-alike
so.
right here. But Dennis Smith, this is going to be a huge game for him. See how he can rebound from his first single-digit scoring game in the ACC. So it'll be interesting to see how Syracuse tries to stop him. But you've got some anchors down low that can definitely do that with Tyler Lydon and Tyler Roberson.
You guys are certainly making the fans happy. Syracuse getting that first road win of the season. For Tyler Aki and Matt Liberman, I'm Marco Socci. Have a good night, Syracuse, and enjoy the game.